Navar. No, it wasn't Navar. Michaelis maybe, or Ursula. It was one of them where like I saw like something like 10 or 11 posts in a row were really just people showing the level 40 stats and talking about if it was any good or not. Like we don't need.
Yeah, that was Ursula.
We don't need that. So like megathreads and like, and that's another thing I see a lot. Reddit's gone through like a lot of changes recently, and there's been a serious anti-mod sentiment that's been creeping up on the entire site, not just our subreddit, but like, so you see a lot of people complaining about mod censorship or just bad mods. That's a whole other thing I can rant on and on about. But a lot of people don't like megathreads, and some even would go so far as to say that megathreads kill discussion, and that we're making the subreddit objectively worse. And like that's another thing. Like the megathread will have like 2,000 or not 2,000. It'll have like 800 comments in it, but it apparently kills discussion because we don't let it span. Like we don't let it take up the entire sub.
See, there's two reasons that you really want to implement a megathread. You'll either implement a megathread because you want to curb spam, which is the reason that we have our voting gauntlet megathreads. And then the other reason to create a megathread is to keep things organized. And those kind of sound the same thing, but when you look at the difference between a score tracker megathread for the gauntlet versus the strategy megathread for the GHBs, I think it becomes extremely apparent. Because if everybody made their own post for their strategy for how to beat the last megathread or the last Grand Hero battle, it would be much more tedious to go through and find those posts. But in a megathread, you can go and we have it pinned in the top comment. That's where you know exactly where to go, and that's where all the answers should be. And you can just scroll down, and it's so easy. Oh, do I have these 4 units? No, scroll. And you go to the next one. Do I have these 4 units? I have 3 and one that could make it work, so you try that one out. And I think it makes it a lot easier. Like back in the beginning, we had this like complicated like Google Doc survey thing, and it was useful, and people would post what units they used, but I think the system that we have now is extremely effective. There hasn't been a single GHB that I haven't been able to find a strategy that worked for me for, except for like the original Infernal ones.
And a quick shout out to yaycupcake.com, because that website, she just scrolls through the megathread and she finds the strategies of videos and she just puts them in a database. So like even if reading all that text is too much for you and you just need pretty pictures, you can go to her website and less text, and they're video formatted. You don't got to read anything. Like you just copy. I wish we hit the problem we had with Grand Hero battles with such efficiency. It was so effective, and I wish we could hit every problem like that all the time. But first of all, Reddit is hard, and it also doesn't pay, so I can't spend my time all day working on this stuff. That's another thing I don't think a lot of people realize, is that I'm a volunteer who doesn't get paid, and I can't spend all my time doing this. So if you see something you don't like, look, dude, I probably don't like it either.
You don't get paid?
Wait, you get paid?
Well, you don't get your shield check.
Nintendo does not shield me. I will.
Oh, wow.
I could have went to E3. Does that count? Andis went to E3. Is he a shield?
I know somebody who went to E3.
Was it you?
It might have been me.
I want to say though that I guess you can say that for all the hard work we do on Reddit, you have to give us credit.
Get out of here.
Oh jeez. Oh,
I don't get it either.
I don't get it.
It's a problem we have on not this subreddit, but our Nintendo. We got like a really, really big mod team, and the sub's really not that big. And I see we have a special bot that if our Nintendo gets mentioned on the site, it'll link it, like sends us to mod mail, and we can see what they're talking about. I don't know when we set that up or why, but we just do. And I see a lot of things, a lot of things. I mean, it's usually just people being like, I got banned for entirely unreasonable reason here. And then we just go and we link like, hey, I actually got banned for this. And here's the link to the post, by the way. Because I can't have people like doing that. Because I was telling you about that anti-mod sentiment. A lot of people say like, I got banned from this subreddit. The mods are so terrible. And like everyone just believes what they read on the internet, I guess. And take that as some kind of gospel. But one thing we have over there is we've got a lot of mods, and what people need to understand is that mods can do more than just moderate the page. For example, darkdogdemon's working on the Extra Life charity thing, and Hex is working on entirely new CSS. I do a podcast on this side.
And don't forget the Discord for him.
We have a Discord. It's pretty big, and Hex is also pretty big on that Discord. I mean, we got other, and this isn't even things we get paid for, and this all takes time. So, at least have some patience with me. I don't think most people hate me anymore, but that'll change because, wait, what?
If it makes you feel better, I've never hated you.
Must be nice.
Well, I'm a higher up mod than you, so if you do something I don't like, I can just, like, remove you from the list.
Please don't remove me, senpai. Please.
Mod abuse.
Oh, abuse.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, we have a lot of mods, and not everyone of like one guy's an AMA guy over there. Like one guy does the Throwdown Thursdays, and like I do the Talk It Out Tuesdays and the Smile Sunday. Like not everybody on the mod team is like remove your post kind of mod, and some people just stick to mod mail, and that's fine. That works for us. And another thing we have is the mod team over there is much closer than the one we got here because I've known those dudes for years. Like I've been on that mod team for like 3 years. And, like, I've been in close correspondence with them. I know their kids' names. I know their voices. We play Mario Kart together. I imagine a similar thing will happen to this subreddit. Given time, we'll have a lot of mods. Not all of them will be as active or visible as the ones you see now, where most people know Andis by name, know the flair he's got, know he's the meme killer. He's the Camilla mod everyone acts nice around, and no, he's like a police on the highway. You just kind of like slow down so you don't get past him. I mean, I see people check just to make sure he's looking at stuff or make references. Like that only works whenever you're a certain size, and at some point we'll get bigger. So, and that also impacts how hard it is to make decisions and to move and mobilize on things. Whenever you got a lot of people need to hear it before you just start doing stuff. So things start taking a long time, and discussions are even more. Look, this is hard. Now that's the point I'm trying to get across to you, is that this is hard, and I don't get paid, and it's stressful. And did I mention I take a lot of time to do, like, for instance, this podcast I was talking about before we started recording, that are about every 30 seconds of raw audio is like, it's like 10 minutes of work for me. I mean, and these things go for like 50 minutes sometimes, and that's, I mean, it's rough.
We're already at 40
yeah,
minutes.
I know it's already. We're about half done recording now. I'm kidding, but yeah, and I don't get paid, and I don't want to get paid because I mean then we start to get into real mod abuse territory. I put in a lot of work. Shit's hard, and that's only one thing I do for this subreddit, and it's not the only subreddit I mod. So try to keep that stuff in mind, please. And go easy on me. Be gentle. It's my first time.
So something else that I'll point out, you were talking about how you mod on Nintendo, and Fire Emblem Heroes has an absolutely absurd amount of traffic stats. So I moderate the Nintendo Switch subreddit, Frobo moderates the Nintendo subreddit, and I know Fire Emblem Heroes has higher traffic than the Nintendo Switch subreddit, which is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it has more. I can't strip. We have a lot of people, and you guys don't stop clicking stuff, which is a good thing. But
in September, Fire Emblem Heroes had 1 million unique people visit the subreddit. We had almost 43 million page views. That's nuts.
Actually, that reminds me,
absolutely insane.
Before, when I was recording that episode with the Game Press tier list guys, they were asking me the tips, like, when's a good time to post they said something like, the last update on our tier list, it didn't get the kind of traction we thought. Did we post it at a bad time? Or they were just asking about, like, how subreddits are run. And they were wondering what the traffic stats were. And that's another thing I want to get across to you, normal people, is that most people really don't upvote things. So when you see that there's like 70, how many subscribers do we have? We've got a lot of subscribers, but
76,000.
But posts only end up with like 800 upvotes, and like that's kind of a lot. It's because like 90% of people really just don't upvote anything. And like it's not these people. It's not like YouTube where a whole bunch of these subs are dead subs, so the subscriber count doesn't matter. I mean, don't get me wrong. The subscriber count isn't the number that matters. It's page views and uniques, and you guys can't see that kind of stuff. But we generally get more uniques and much more page views than the subscriber count. So on a given day, we've got like 76,000 subscribers or so, I think. On any given day, I'd expect to get like around 80K uniques or something like that, just to get.
So, like an example, we can, as mods, we can also see, you can see it on your own posts, but we can see it on every post, the amount of views that specific posts got. So, like right now, the top post on the subreddit, it's 9 hours old. It's a meme picture, and it says, it's got a picture of a hammer for arena assault, and it says, "A fucking hammer, break the enemy dancer's legs." It's got 1,400 upvotes, but it has 19,000 views. So like less than 10% of people tend to upvote, and that post is 94% upvoted. So like, just because it doesn't have a lot of upvotes, you could probably times it by 10 for the amount of views that it has.
So yeah, guys, keep that in mind. There's a lot of you, a lot more than you seem to realize. And half of you don't behave. I mean, you guys are... I love you guys, really. But I gotta ban people more often than I feel like I should. But I also like banning people, so I guess it works out.
Yeah, I keep a counter on Discord of how many people I've banned. So it's
okay. I'm not that crazy. I just kind of ban people and forget they exist.
After a while, I guess it becomes like a trophy number. So like it's one of those things. It's like in the army or something. They have like confirmed kills. You just have like confirmed bans.
Dude, if there were confirmed bans, the Pokemon... Like, do you know how many bots I think whenever Reddit changes, I think that the traffic stats will be public again. I don't hold me to that.
You can make them public. You can turn them on public.
No, they changed it a few months ago to where you're not allowed to... I think it was when they enabled you to see the mobile traffic stats. Because up until a few months ago, we could only see when people viewed on desktop. And they had kind of said about 50% of the site's views were coming from mobile, but we could never really confirm it. So then they changed it to where we can see mobile, but we can only see... you can't even make them public so anybody can look anymore, which is really crappy in my opinion. The only caveat is with the mobile thing. So when I mentioned the traffic stats earlier, that only includes Reddit on desktop, Reddit on mobile, and then Reddit's official mobile app. Any unofficial third-party apps like Alien Blue, I think
Reddit
Bacon
is
Reader,
fun. Bacon Reader, yeah.
Any of those. If you use those, that doesn't even count to our stats, and that's actually one of the questions in our demographic survey that we talked about earlier. So we'll maybe get a little bit of an idea of how much of our traffic is coming from those. Not that it's probably a significant portion, maybe just a couple percent.
Well, see, you say that, but, I mean, confession here, actually, I'm not even subscribed to Fire Emblem Heroes.
Treason!
And I use Reddit as
Betrayal!
Well, I don't subscribe to any subreddit. Like, I don't subscribe to any subreddit, not even the ones I mod. Because who cares? Like, what? I don't use the front page, so I don't need it for that. I just go to the sub, look at new, and then keep it moving.
I need someone in the comment section of whatever this is to make an edit of Takumi with Clarice's face on it.
Actually, I'm gonna snipe when we reach 100,000 subscribers. Yeah. I'm gonna snipe it so that I'm the 100th.
Oh my!
Like the 100,000th, and then I'll be a legend. That wasn't the original idea. I mean, I just might as well subscribe at some point, and I might as well be special. So, back to the rules. Let's get into what seems to be the most controversial rule we've got with the way unit builds are. Again, Andis, I'll call on you. Do you want to talk about the evolution of the unit build filter, flare, and how we got to they need to be text posts or I remove them?
Unit builds used to be pretty innovative content. Back in the days where skill inheritance just came out and people were still, making fun builds with their favorite character, and the game was not nearly as difficult as it is now with Panic Ploy Emblem and the GHBs and shenanigans like that. People would post unique builds and they would talk about them and it would be interesting. We didn't have resources like GamePress and Gamepedia that were super wealthy with information and established because those people hadn't started to really shine yet, and it wasn't as notable of a resource. So we had a lot of people posting builds and getting inspired by builds on the subreddit. And for a long time, that was fine. until resources like Gamepedia and GamePress started to become more popular for unit builds. And instead of coming to Reddit for how do I build my character, people started to go to Gamepedia.